the mothers. You gotta love the mothers. And you gotta hug the ones who bring us joy and love. It's the middle with the Momzilla, it's your day.
Well, thank you for doing this.
Of course.
Know your name. What's your name?
My name is Hunter.
Hunter. Aw.
Yes.
That's a good name for a girl. We were just talking about like boy names for girls yesterday, and I'm obsessed. I love it.
Well, so I have always wanted, if I ever had a girl, I always wanted my girl to have a boy name.
Yes.
And so we had a daughter in November 2020,
Okay.
and we had this full list of boy names for girls, and her name is Phoebe.
Are you serious? How on earth did you go from that to that?
We called her Phoebe the entire time I was pregnant, and we were like, no, we do not like that name. And then I had her and we were like, okay, she looks like Phoebe.
That is so funny. Did you get that from friends?
So people ask me that all the time. I have actually never seen an episode of Friends ever in my life.
What?
And yes. And so no, I don't know. Maybe it was just like, a seed was planted in my brain.
Yeah.
At some point that I liked that name. But yeah, we called her that the entire time I was pregnant. And then
that's so funny. That was meant to be.
Polar opposite.
Yeah, you need to like go on YouTube and like look up like Phoebe like scenes from Friends or something, because you will die laughing. She's hilarious.
Well, hopefully my daughter will be just as funny.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe not as weird, but just as funny.
Either way, it'll be okay.
Yes, that's so cute. Do y'all have like a little nickname for her?
We call her Bieber a lot.
Yeah.
When she was first born, like when she was a newborn, we called her Munchkin or Munchie a lot. But now we just we call her, I think Bieber is the most frequent.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Nickname that we have for her.
So cute. Well, thank you for doing this.
Of course.
I found you, honestly, I don't know how, like, I didn't know if you have ads or what, but long story short, I have 2 babies. My daughter will be 3 in October, and then my son just turned 1. And my first go around with breastfeeding, I was like clueless.
Yeah.
I had no idea what I was doing, and like had no idea how hard it was. Like I thought like there was gonna be milk just in my boob, and like she just sucks
ready
it
to
out.
go.
Yeah, that's it. No. But so didn't have a very successful time with that. But with my son, I was like, all right, I'm doing everything I possibly can to know what to do. And it went so good. And I like got your whole like the good big package from Boob Box, like with everything in it, And then I ordered some like for my friends. I was like, this is the only gift I'm giving you. But
well, when you reached out to me, I was like, oh my gosh. Cause being a small business owner, I know every order. Like I do my, after a mom places an order, I'm like, oh my God, I get giddy.
Yeah.
And so I like look her up, see where she's located, all of those things. And so I remember all of the names, they're very recognizable to me, especially after someone has placed an order. So I do appreciate you.
Yay, that's so funny. I love it. But I'm obsessed with that box. I was looking at it the other day because I think you have like some new options for the burp cloths or something like that. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I want to get it again, but I don't need it. I was like, who wants one?
I get it. I understand.
I love it. So tell me, like, we can start off with your story, because do you just have one daughter?
Yes.
So we can start off your story about, you and your husband and having your baby Phoebe, and your breastfeeding journey, and then maybe how you got into doing this.
Yeah. So, like I said, I'm Hunter. I'm the owner of Boob Box. I am from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Okay.
So not too far from you. I actually grew up in Memphis.
Wait, what? Are you serious?
Yeah. So when you asked me to come on the podcast, I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I can just make a trip out of it.
Oh,
but
damn.
Here I am at home.
Well, next time you're here, you let me know. We'll do another.
I will, 100%. My husband and I were not married when we conceived.
Yes.
So it was a little bit of a surprise, but it all worked out beautifully. We made it work, and here we are. But so I had her in November of 2020.
Okay.
And like you, I had no idea what I was doing. I had thought that I had educated myself on postpartum and recovery and, care that I should be going through in the postpartum phase, both with birthing a child and with breastfeeding. And I came to realize that I was very wrong. I had my daughter and I was like, oh my gosh, I am lost. Like, what am I supposed to be doing right now?
I know exactly how you feel.
So we kind of started, we jived very well. And my breastfeeding journey from the start was a fairly good one.
Good.
I had no problem latching. We had no big issues that I had to fix or correct or anything like that. There were a couple times postpartum that I did have to see a lactation consultant.
Okay.
I ended up getting milk blebs, which are blisters on your nipples, and it was the worst.
Oh, I had that too.
Yeah, it was the worst. So there were just a couple things, minor things that were fixable that I had to see a lactation consultant over, but I had no idea what I was doing. And I was, none of my friends have children. I was the only one, that I knew other than my parents that had breastfed. And so I just kind of took it and ran with it and figured it out as I went. But it got me thinking there needs to be more support, more easily accessible support and affordable support for new moms on their breastfeeding journeys. So I actually had been planning to go back to work. My maternity leave was 4 months long. And as that came to a close, I suddenly was freaking out. We had a nanny lined up. I was ready to go back to work. Yeah. And a week before I was supposed to go back to work, I went and saw my CEO and I was like, I'm so sorry, but I can't. I cannot come back.
I would be the exact same way. I think moms literally deserve a year off. Honestly.
Agreed. 100%.
A year, like you said, 4 months, and that's better than I've heard other people, but it's still not enough.
Yeah.
Like 4 months goes like this.
4 months is generous.
Yeah.
Considering what maternity leave looks like in the US right now. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, a year would be like
amazing.
Yeah, and the minimum, like that's what someone should be required to receive.
Yeah, and I think that more moms would probably go back to work after a year off. But what were you doing before?
So I was doing marketing at a bicycle manufacturer.
Okay, that's awesome.
Something totally different. Yeah. So I went to college for public relations and communication. Okay. And so I kind of have a background in marketing. That's the field that I've been in since I graduated college. But I did a lot of sports related marketing. Yeah. So I worked at a boat manufacturer and then I worked at a bicycle manufacturer. So nothing at all related to like motherhood, postpartum, breastfeeding, none of it. And it's crazy because I never would have seen myself in this field now. Yeah. But anyways, I had started building boob boxes for friends.
I love the name. I love that you went with this. Some people will be like, oh, I don't know about boob, but I'm so glad you did it.
People think it's really kitschy and funny and a lot have stickers on my water bottles and stuff. And people are like, what is boob box? I'm like, hold on, let me tell you.
Yeah, let me tell you.
You have 5 minutes?
Yeah, here's my Instagram.
Yeah. So I started building boob boxes for like family friends and friends of friends who were having baby showers. Just
like as a gift.
Yes, as gifts. Okay. And my stepdad is actually the one. He was like, "Do you realize that this is a really good idea?" And I was like, "Well, I'm sure there's got to be something out there that's like it. That's not a specialized."
Right.
So like Frida has a breastfeeding kit, but it's more like one-time use products, things like that. There's no like everyday essential product that a mom can use recurrent in her postpartum and breastfeeding journey. So I started looking and I was like, wow, there's really not anything that's like what I have made. Right. So I started reaching out to wholesalers and stuff. And I was actually lucky. Awesome. I was lucky to get accounts with all of the brands that I wanted to get accounts with.
Awesome. Okay.
So before I called my CEO and told him that I was leaving my job so that I could have a little bit of sense of security.
Yeah, exactly.
My stepdad was like, you should do that. And he was like, I will fund you for your initial inventory purchase. Awesome. I know it literally, I got so lucky, and this is an ideal situation for a small business owner like myself. But he was like, I'll fund you if you want to leave your job, stay home with Phoebe full time, and really dedicate your time and effort and, you know, all of everything that I can give you towards Boob Box, then I will let you take it and run with it. And I was like, okay, that sounds wonderful. So it took me, so let's see, I was supposed to go back to work in March of 2021, and I launched Boob Box in June. So
wow, you got it fast. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I started working constantly on inventory purchasing and website creation and social media stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just ran with it. And so I did all of my own logo design.
I was going to ask you if you did your own logo, because marketing, is that the kind of stuff you did before?
Somewhat. At both of the places that I worked before, we had a graphic designer in-house. And but I will say both of my jobs were very hands-off type of jobs. So I had my list of things to do, but the amount of people that were on both of my teams, there was just such an overload of work that we all kind of had to piggyback off of each other's to-do list. So I really learned a lot from the graphic designers that I worked with previously. So I kind of just have taught myself just through trial and error, you know, playing around, doing design work as I can. So yeah, I did all of that stuff, and I did most of it with Phoebe sleeping on my lap, you know, or attached to my boob. So it's crazy to think, like, now I've been open for a year and a half or so, and not even a year and a couple months, but that is the story of Boob Box, and here we are.
I must have followed you like immediately when you started or something, because my son's a year old and I got everything before he was born. So I guess I found you immediately. I don't know.
I think you were one of my first customers.
That's so funny.
I'm sure I was like in tears when I saw your order.
I was like, I want everything.
I mean, I basically am every time I get an order. I'm like, no, this isn't real. How is this my job?
Like, I think like you were going crazy and like with business, and everyone wanted the cookies, and you were out of the cookies for me, and you were like, is it okay?
That's right.
Wait, or I'll send you everything. I was like, girl, you can wait.
I remember that.
Yep.
I remember that.
Those were so good. Oh my gosh.
Like, I know.
I want to talk about some of your products in there. Because, you know, I'm a small business owner as well. I'm a wedding videographer, photographer, but I also do births, which obviously is my favorite, like, to film. I don't film, you know, right in the action down there, but you know, I'm behind getting the good moments. But I love doing it. It's so fun. But I started doing this like in college because I played college soccer and my career was over. I was like, I hurt my knees. I was like, I'm not going pro, so I got to figure something out. And I was blessed enough to find my passion like really early on. But wow, what a game changer it is, like working when you have babies. Oh man. My Lord. Wow. I went from like 45 weddings a year plus all these photo sessions, and I just like said yes to everything. And then I didn't realize, like, when I knew I was having her, I was like, I'm fine. And I just kept booking everything. I was like, oh, what have I done? Like, I can't do this. It was so hard. Breastfeeding. I think that was my problem, because I went back to work 7 days later with stitches. Yeah, a wedding. So dumb. I had a second shooter with me, thankfully. But I was like, I can't miss a wedding. Like, she would have done it and I would have edited it and it would have been fine. But I was like, I can't miss it. Like, I don't know. I'm so obsessed with my business. You know what I'm talking about. So I had to do it, but I left my daughter too early. Like, it hurt me. I felt so guilty. She wasn't on my boob constantly. And I think that's why me and my son did so well with it, because I mean, I let him on my boob literally like every 5 minutes. I'm not kidding. If he was crying and wanted it, boom. And I know, like, there's people that say, you know, you're not supposed to do that because then they cluster feed or whatever. But I was like, whatever. I want this to work. So whatever.
And that's so good, actually. That like high frequency of feeding is like key, especially in the early days.
Exactly. I mean, my milk both times came in the day they were born, like within
Really?
24 hours. Yes. It was crazy.
That is
I don't know
crazy.
why, because my sister-in-law just had a baby 2 weeks ago and her milk took like days to come in. And so I guess it was just that much colostrum.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I was like, wow, mine came in like that day. Like
Your body was ready.
yeah, it was. It was like, all right. But anyway, so I just like, I didn't know what I was doing. I went too early or left too early and I don't know, it didn't go well. It was very hard. I got mastitis, I guess once with her, but like, I mean, it was the day I took her. Do you take them like 7 days after they're born, like a week after? I think it
To
is.
go to the pediatrician?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So that day I didn't bring a pump because I didn't know like really what mastitis was. I didn't know you needed the milk to get out. So we took her to her appointment and it took a little longer than expected. And she wasn't latching correctly. And so I would just feed her a bottle. So at that appointment, I got mastitis. Like I was like,
oh my God.
it was like red. Like you probably know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
My boobs felt like concrete. My nipples were already bleeding and blistered, like you said. And all of a sudden I'm like, I am so sick, like so sick. And then I'm freezing, shaking. I had no idea. Like I had to get on medicine. Like my husband, I had a huge fever. It was so bad. So I didn't know anything. But so I ended up kind of giving up on that. I think like almost month 4 of just constantly struggling and pumping at weddings with my little portable pumps. I was like, it was taking a toll on me. I had horrible postpartum depression.
Yeah.
I was just like, it's taking a toll on me. So I'm going to go ahead and give it up. And it was funny. I never wanted to give up. I don't like to give up on anything, but the way I knew mentally and physically probably I needed to. So I went and got Botox and I was like, now I can't do it. I literally can't because I thought I would like quit one day and then regret it and try to do it again. But I was like, if I get Botox, I can't do it. So
the end of my breastfeeding journey with my daughter is actually very similar.
Really?
It wasn't Botox. It was actually a more unfortunate event.
Oh God.
I broke out in this full body allergic reaction. Like they have no idea what was wrong with me, but it was my whole body. And like my eyes were swelling, like almost swollen shut. My face was like burnt red.
Oh my God.
Swollen. It was wild. So I went to the doctor and they were like, yeah, we're going to have to give you steroid shots. And I was like, okay. So that was that. I mean,
that's it.
I was like days away from being done anyway.
Yeah.
And we made it almost 17 months. So I was like,
oh, that's amazing.
Pat on the back
for you.
For me. So
that's amazing.
To your point in your story, it is very mentally taxing, breastfeeding is. And a lot of people quit for that reason. And there is absolutely no guilt or shame that should be, posed around that. And, but I feel like that is part of the reason why offering more support is so important for so many reasons.
100%.
It's really a really hard thing. And it's not something that should be taken lightly for any mom. Because it's hard. It's really hard.
And I kind of feel like with social media, like things are getting a lot better. Like there's a lot more support out there, a lot more information, a lot more people being vulnerable about stuff. But I just like had literally no idea about anything. So my mind just blanked. What was I about to tell you? Crap.
Well, we were talking about my allergic reaction on my whole body.
Well, first of all, did you ever figure out what happened? Like, what?
No, they never told me. But the steroid, I woke up the next day and I guess the steroid shot worked. Okay. So, and I was better the next day.
That's terrifying.
I was like, what is happening? And then my daughter got really sick like a week later. I'm like, I wonder if they're related.
Of course. Are you serious?
Yeah. Really
that would make me so mad.
Her body was fine. She didn't break out in any allergic.
Thank goodness. Because of course your mind probably was like, oh, if she had breast milk, like she would have gotten better faster. Yeah. That's how I was.
Exactly. So true.
Yeah.
Every time. There was always a reason when I was finishing my breastfeeding journey. I was like, oh, but next week, we're going on a trip and she's going to really need to be fed in the car. Yeah. Like I would think like 2 weeks out and be like, oh, but I really need to be breastfeeding her for that. Like I can't stop now.
Me too.
Crazy.
100%. I just remembered finally, sorry, my mind, mom brain never goes away.
Never.
Never. So I will say the beginning of like when you're getting pregnant, I actually got pregnant exactly the way you did. Me and my husband
Really?
met and fell in love immediately. We're not planning to, but oopsie, got pregnant very early and
Yep.
we got
Man,
married.
we have very similar
We
stories.
like are the same.
Yeah.
We got married like, I don't know, 2.5 weeks before she was born because we were
Oh,
engaged,
wow.
but I'm a wedding videographer and I didn't want to get engaged and married because we were pregnant. I wanted it to be because we were the one. And so we were like, we'll just have a really long engagement. But then we talked about it and we're like, but we already know we want to get married. So let's do it. Like, might as well. Like, so we went to the courthouse and we did it. So
that's awesome.
we'll get to have some kind of wedding or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe renew our vows one day. But so that's very similar story as to you. And then my son was an oopsie daisy as well. After, as you know, like when you're breastfeeding, you either don't get your period or like it's irregular or whatever. I didn't get it while I was breastfeeding with my daughter. And then after I stopped, it was just very irregular. Like I skipped months. I had no idea what was going on. And the birth control made me feel sick. So I just didn't take any. Well, I ended up being pregnant. I did not have any idea I was. And like, I think I found out like 8 weeks. And with my daughter, I was so early, like 4 weeks or something. So with him, I was like, oh boy, like did not mean to do this.
Whoops.
They're 18 months apart. It was wild. But anyway, so what I wanted to say was I feel like at the hospital, like the doctors and nurses, like, I mean, they have to do this, it's their job. And there's so many people having babies and stuff, but they're not very, like, that's not their priority. Like breastfeeding for us, it's, to keep us on schedule. Like, that's why that's why they schedule induction so much and C-sections and stuff. Cause they're like, all right, let's keep a schedule, which I understand. But with my daughter, like the nurse, like I had great nurses, but the last nurse was okay. And she was just not pro breastfeeding. She made me feel pretty dumb about me being like, I want to hurry up and get her on my boob because like I've read this. And she's like, no. Their stomachs are acorn size. She doesn't need anything. And I'm like, okay. And so I just was like, okay, because I don't know what I'm doing or so
especially as a first-time mom, you're very vulnerable and naive and you have no idea, if a nurse is telling you what to do, you're probably going to do it.
Exactly. So I felt very like that was not prioritized. And then she would be like, do you just want to give her a bottle and stuff like that? I'm like, no, no, I want to breastfeed. Like, it was just, there was no help. It took like right before we were leaving to even get a lactation consultant. And like, she was nice, but you could tell she was like, okay, like this is what you do. And like in a hurry. And I'm like, so now I know, I'm like, okay, I think I still didn't get one with my son, but I probably will if we have another kid. But I think a doula is so important because they can help advocate for you, especially if your husband has no idea what's going on. And
true.
And I feel like, especially for a first-time mom, if a doctor or nurse suggests something, the doula can kind of explain to you the pros and cons of it or how it'll help, whatever. And I also think lactation consultant is so important too. Even like if you know what you're doing, I think that then just helping you and making sure there's no tongue or lip ties. Because with my daughter, I think that was our problem. Her latch, like I was constantly bleeding and I was fighting through it, just putting her back on it, like getting through it, which I do believe like it is hard. And if you want to do it, like you kind of do have to go through some pain in the beginning and just keep going. But I also felt like since I was going through such a rough time with it, that I was being pressured to give her formula.
Definitely.
And I'm like, people always say people pressure to breastfeed. I get way more pressure to give formula, honestly, because like breastfeeding so hard, it's taking a toll on you. I get it, but like, you should support the person, tell them like, hey, if you want to keep going, let's keep going. Like it's going to be painful for a little while, but it'll get better. And then, but if not, then you can stop, like something like that, instead of like, oh, just give her formula,
Definitely.
And I just felt like there was like no really support there, like kind of starting at the hospital, honestly. But
well, that's kind of their agenda. I mean, it's really awful to say, but it's true. I actually experienced similar things in the hospital as well, where they were saying, oh, she's so hungry, your body just isn't giving her what she needs. And I was like, no, but I'm pretty sure like, I'm almost certain it is.
Yeah.
I mean, like she's peeing and pooping. There's plenty of diaper output. Like I'm almost certain she's okay.
Yeah.
So I just kind of took things as they were saying them with a grain of salt. And,
Yeah.
but to that point, I have actually, recently received my certification as a breastfeeding counselor.
That's awesome.
Thank you. So yeah, that's soon to come with Boob Box. I'm actually going to be offering in-person counseling sessions in Chattanooga and then virtual sessions.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna need you if I have another
online.
baby.
Yes. But I think it's really important, and something that I'm definitely going to push is prenatal education.
Yes.
During my certification, I had to do a couple of counseling sessions as practice. And so I actually reached out on Boob Box Instagram on stories and was like, hey, I really need 2 moms, whoever you are, pregnant, nursing now, whatever,
Yeah.
to counsel for free. And I made it my goal to pick 2 people that I didn't know who they were. You know, they were both, it ended up, they were both out of town.
Okay.
So one was pregnant and expecting, and she was due in like a month at the time of our session. And then the other one was about to go back to work. And so she needed some advice on pumping at work and a new routine, to fit pumping with her work life.
Right.
And, but I remember the mom who I counseled who was pregnant. She was a first-time mom, and it struck such a good chord with her, where when she was in the hospital, you know, she was texting me questions like, hey, they're trying to get me on a nipple shield, but everything seems to be going okay. Like I'm in no discomfort, all of these things. And so it was really a good thing for me to be able to be like, no, you know, if all of these things are going as you say they are going, then you are doing everything right. And there's no need for any of this supplementation or any of these tools, you know, that they're trying to offer you.
Right.
So it's so important for moms to do all kinds of research while they're pregnant, you know, pelvic floor therapy stuff, postpartum care information. Breastfeeding is a big one, especially if it's your goal to breastfeed. Like education can take you so far, especially like if you're giving birth in the hospital, by yourself, no doula, no other support system other than your partner or whoever. But yeah, that really like solidified the reason behind why I wanted to do this in the first place. So
that's amazing.
So that's coming soon. But I think that's really going to take Boob Box to another level. And
100%,
you know, the certification doesn't mean that I want to stop my education. Like eventually, you know, a few years down the road, I would love to become an international board certified lactation consultant and do some counseling in a private practice.
That'd be awesome. It's so needed. How cool would that be?
Manifesting it. I am manifesting it. So that's the goal. But yeah, there's just so much support that is needed, and it just is not readily available right now. So,
how amazing would it be if you were working with a practice and that was like one of the appointments for women, and they could opt out if they for sure didn't want to, but how amazing would that be? And and like reading a book, like that's one thing, but talking to somebody who also has been through it, like exactly, what a game changer.
And like you said, like you don't really know until you're there. And so prenatal education is really great, but when you actually have a baby in your arms and like latching on the boob, that's when you really can understand, like, okay, I understand, you know, I see now what changes my body's going through. I see now like what's, what I'm about to go through in the next couple days and months. So it's such a big part of postpartum that can be made so much better.
It really can.
A little bit of knowledge.
It can help so many people with postpartum depression and anxiety.
Even just somebody to talk to, like that was one big thing for me postpartum, was like I needed somebody who knew what I was going through other than my husband and my close friends who don't have children, to really get in, you know, feel like I was like part of society again. And for her to like listen to me and understand me, that was huge.
None of my, just like you, none of my friends had babies. I was the only one. obviously my, couple bride and grooms who became friends, maybe they had some babies or something, but only friend who had one. So no one had any idea what I was going through. And it's actually funny. My best friend had her baby this year, and then my brother had a baby, and then my other best friend's having a baby. Like everyone's like,
everyone.
I'm like, all right, come on, guys. Like,
I got you.
Let's do it. And they're all like, wow, now I know exactly how you feel.
Yeah.
Some friends, while I was pregnant, were like, you ready to go out? And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? So now you get
it. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, exactly. Like
for the 2 hours that I can sleep.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, exactly. But actually, when you said nipple shield, I totally forgot. The nurse that was trying to get me to just give her formula, she gave me a nipple shield, and I did not need it. I'm not saying nipple shields are bad, but I didn't need it, and it actually is what damaged my boob. Which caused hell from there on, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
So you just need good support. But crap. Oh yeah. I was like, what else am I talking about? But with my son, so right after he was born, we had him in the hospital as well. Literally after they cleaned him and everything and gave him to me, I put him on my boob, and then nurse like, oh, you don't have to do that. I was like, yes, I'm doing
it. I know that I do.
Yeah. I was like, well, I am. So, but
and I want to. So.
Yeah, don't tell me what to do. But but I put him on my boob. He literally latched immediately. And I maybe had to work a little bit, and it hurt a little bit, but he was on there immediately. And man, that kid, we went all the way to, not as long as you, but 6 months and 9 days. Got to add those 9 days in there.
So awesome.
Constant breastfeeding, and it just went so well. And now it's so funny. He's one, and he'll come up to me and he'll go like this and look at him and be like, oh, I'm like, no, there's nothing. Flat.
I got nothing.
Deflated balloons here. So yeah. But it went so much easier. I did have a friend who was a lactation consultant who helped me. She never came over because it honestly went so well. I didn't need her to.
Yeah.
But I did have someone in the hospital come, and she, helped me because he was really great, this position on this boob, but this one I had to football hold him or whatever, which I just was so uncomfortable. That's another thing. I definitely need someone legit to come to the house or whatever, because I was like this, and my arms would be shaking, be in so much pain, but I just am holding him there because he's latching. You need to have a pillow. You need to relax. I was literally like this. So I feel like I got hunchback now. But
my number one recommendation always is to make yourself the most comfortable you can be, and then latch your baby.
Yes,
that's
bring the
number
baby
one
to your boob, not your boob to the baby. Ignore the chaos back here.
It's fine. They're
entertained for now, so we'll see what happens. But anyway, thank you so much. I'm so sorry. I've been so excited about this. It's been kind of crazy. I've been traveling a lot. I had a wedding, and then I just got back from Knoxville last night.
I was listening to your latest podcast episode yesterday, so I kind of got an update on your whole life.
Yeah, craziness. But anyway, so ignore the chaos and this back here. Hopefully they'll be chill. But thank you for doing this. I definitely want to get part 1 and part 2. I'm going to put them together, but I'm definitely going to want to get them out this week because I missed last week.
Awesome.
So I definitely want to just do both, but I think I'm just going to put it in one because that was totally my fault. Yes, baby. Can you say hi?
Hi.
Say hi, Miss Hunter.
Hi.
This is Tessa.
Hi, Tessa. You are cute. I love your baby doll line that you've set up.
This is Ray Ray. Say hi.
Hi, guys.
So funny.
My daughter's with my mom. This is my mom's house. And she's with my mom downstairs. I can hear her going, Mama.
Oh no, are you serious? Oh, that's always the worst because you're like,
I know. I need 30 minutes.
I know, that's it. Yeah, my mother-in-law was like, I can come watch them. I was like, it's 30 minutes. We can do this.
It'll be okay. Yeah, we can power through.
Yes. But I do remember we started off the next part 2 or whatever. And it was literally what's in the box.
Okay.
So, and I know that I was telling you like my favorite stuff, because I got my friends like some Boob Box stuff, and I'm obsessed with the whale. Like I'm so obsessed with it. And I know you said you got a new one.
I did, yes.
And then I'm obsessed with the cookies, the hakas, but like, let's just go. I'm obsessed with it all. Let's just go over everything again. I'm so sorry.
Thank you. So I guess I'll start. I have 4 pre-built boxes.
Yes.
And then I have 1 like customization build a box option. So my 3 pre-builts, I have the bare necessities, the OG boob box, the treasure chest, and the working mom.
Yes.
And then my build a box carries all of the products that I have. So you can get one thing or the whole fleet of products that I carry.
Right.
But some of the brands that I have wholesale accounts with are Haka. I carry the Haka silicone manual pumps, and then the silicone breast milk storage bags, which are both.
Oh, I'm obsessed with those. Those are so good.
Yes. And then I also work with Earth Mama Organics, and I carry their booby tubes and nipple butter. When I was kind of working through wholesale accounts with companies that I wanted to work with, I knew that I wanted to select things that were the most natural product that I could. So Earth Mama Organics really shows out in that front. And the booby tubes are like a hot and cold pack. So it's like an organic cotton shell with flaxseed inside. They're freezable and microwavable, so they're good for engorgement pains and any discomfort that comes with breastfeeding in the early days and beyond. And then their nipple butter is it's vegan, it's fair trade organic certified. I mean, it's all the things that you would want in a product like that.
I love Earth Mama. Oh my gosh, my kids. I don't know. I probably found them on Instagram or something, but I sell beauty counters, so I'm like so serious about ingredients. Like I try not to stress out, but I'm like, I try to just be aware of everything, and whatever I can control, I'm going to do it. So like they've been using the body wash, and he just spilled an entire thing of puffs on the floor. That's great. Just going to ignore it. But their body lotion, obsessed. And I always use the non-scent one because like I'm such a weirdo, but I just got them the lavender one. Oh my gosh, do you have that one?
I don't, but I have heard
so good.
Yeah, I have heard amazing things. I actually have plans to hopefully evolve Boob Box into other sectors of pregnancy boxes, baby boxes, things like that. And Earth Mama will be like one of the first companies that I expand a line with.
Heck yes.
Because I'm obsessed. I love working with them. I love working with all of my wholesalers, but they really show out in like all aspects of product offerings. So
they're awesome.
I have plans with them. I
love it.
I really enjoy working with them. So I've mentioned Haka, I've mentioned Earth Mama Organics. I also work with Copper Pearl. They carry burp cloths. So I sell packs of 3 burp cloths. I recently, probably about 2 months ago, have given customers the option to select their own burp cloth design. Previously I was doing like a mystery type deal where I was picking the design, and it was stressing me out. So
I would be stressed too. I'd be like, are they gonna like this? And then you're like, is it a boy or girl?
So I evolved.
Sorry.
Mom life.
Yep.
So I evolved into letting people pick their own thing. It just was too much for me.
Yeah. You used them when you were breastfeeding. I'm obsessed with it. It's so freaking soft.
And cute.
Yes.
But I still use them. Like if my daughter has a cold or something, or is messy from snacks or whatever, I still use them. I think they're more gentle than like a washcloth or a towel that I would use otherwise. So they rock.
They're awesome. They fit perfectly in your shoulder too.
They really do. Yeah. And they're made they're made oversized literally for that reason. But they're great. I love working with them too. I also carry Kia Babies organic bamboo cotton nursing pads. They come in a pack of 14.
Oh, so obsessed with those. I use those 24/7 at my weddings, like obsessed.
They're a cute pastel color. They're really comfortable. They are a bit oversized too, so they fit a wide range of sizes, of breast sizes.
Yes.
They rock.
And they don't like make like a big indentation or anything. Like before I knew about Boob Box, I used the like paper ones that were kind of sticky, you know, and there would always be like a point.
Yeah.
It looked like a really weird nipple if they're
noticeable
or something. Noticeable. So I'm obsessed with these, and then you can wash them and reuse them, so they're environmentally friendly. Like awesome.
It's a week supply, which I will say I was a pretty leaky breastfeeder. Not every mom is like that. Some people don't leak at all, but I was very leaky. So I probably went through 2 reusable sets a day. But with a pack of 14, I mean, it's a whole week supply. If you want to use one set of nursing pads a day, it's a whole week, which is really nice, because especially being postpartum, you're not doing laundry as frequently as you probably wish that you would. So it's really nice to have like a oversupply of nursing pads available.
Yes, I love them. I forgot them one day at a wedding, and I was like, did I already tell you this?
I don't remember.
I was like standing there like filming the entire bridal party, so like the guys too. And I'm standing there and I'm wearing a black jumper and it's like jeans, and I knew like my milk was about to come out, but I was like, I'm fine. And then I felt it dripping down, and I was like, well, at least I have black on. And then the bride was like, Camilla. And I was like, oh no. I was like, she sees it. She was like, and I was like, I'll be back. It was so embarrassing. I forgot them. Oh, it was horrible.
They're so sweet.
Very dramatic. Very dramatic.
Oh, I get it.
Oh yeah. I mean, he came out dramatic.
Yeah.
Come here. Where we were talking about the pads.
The new nightlight that I carry it's called Lumi Pets. I was actually the whale nightlight was a really good option, but it was taking a little bit too long for me to get them like to re-up my inventory every time.
Yeah.
So I you're fine. Was actually shopping for clothes at a little boutique store in Chattanooga and saw a little silicone bear nightlight in their store. And I was like, okay, that's actually really cute. So I researched and did a little bit of legwork and found them as an option. So I now carry the Lumi Pets Bear Nightlight. It's pretty much the same as the whale. It's like silicone soft texture on the outside. It's got like multicolor light options. It has a few more benefits than the whale one did. It's got like a sleep timer on it. And,
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And a little remote clicker so you can do it from afar. But yeah, it's a really great option that I was actually pleasantly surprised about after the change.
Chessa, my daughter, she co-slept with us. She slept with us in the bed, which she's finally out of our bed. But thank God. But it was hard, like she was awesome sleeping with, but then when you bring a newborn in there in the bassinet and like you're up 24/7, you know, it's so hard with her in there. And so in the beginning, we just like let her stay in there, and I just wouldn't turn the light on. I would just use the little night light, and it's awesome because it's not like overwhelmingly bright. Yeah, and it's not loud. Like, I don't know, it was just perfect. You literally pop it, and like there's different colors. So they also love it and have fun with it now that they're at an older age. Yeah, safe. But it was awesome, and it's just so cute, and like it's perfect for not being too bright, waking up whoever's next to you.
Exactly. But let's see, I also work with, you mentioned that the cookies you loved, and it was actually a small woman-owned business. It was Ella Bella Lactation Cookie Mix. So that's what I carried for. So good. So I carried that for a year, but I actually had a company reach out to me now probably 3 or 4 months ago, Bessie's Best Lactation Cookies. And they, you know, we kind of threw around the idea of them being featured in the box. So they sent me a couple samples of of products in their line. And so I tried the lactation cookies and they were fantastic. So they are pre-made, which I really liked. Whereas before I was carrying a mix, so they had to be made by somebody. Right. So these come in a pack of 12. They are like a peanut butter chocolate chip, lactation cookie bar. They're really good. So yeah, that's a new item in the boxes that I'm really excited about. Bessie's Best has been wonderful to work with.
That's awesome.
It's really cool to work with other small businesses
Heck yes.
when it comes to things like this, because promoting each other is so important.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think that is the full line of products in the Bare Necessities, OG Boob Box, and Treasure Chest. And then in the Working Mom box, I work with Sarah Wells bags. They carry breast pump bags. They have been insanely amazing to work with. It's actually World Breastfeeding Week actually ended on Sunday, and they did a giveaway where they so graciously let me participate.
Oh, I love that. Okay, that's what I posted it for you.
Yeah. And that was amazing. I didn't realize that the giveaway would feature so many other amazing brands in the industry, and it was huge for me. So shout out to Sarah Wells. That team has been incredible to me. But yeah, I carry their Lizzie breast pump bag, and I carry it in black and a floral print. But it is top-notch quality, like super cute, amazing for a working mom, amazing for an exclusive pumping mom, or a mom that pumps on the go, travels with a pump, whatever. It
has to have a bag, and it has a cooler in it, right? Or like a place where you can put a ice pack.
Yes. Yeah. I carry their custom Sarah Wells ice pack that fits
that's awesome.
perfectly in the compartments in the bag. But
that is perfect.
And then that box also includes the Haka silicone milk storage bag. So Haka all around.
Oh yes, everyone knows what Haka is.
They need no explanation.
No. But so like the bag, so obsessed, so cute. I wish I could have gotten that, but I just got, because I'm a wedding videographer, and so I literally had to pump every 2 hours with my little portable pumps, and storing the milk. I would bring my husband's giant Yeti bag. And like people would think I'm like bringing in beer or something, because it's this giant bag with ice in it. I'm like, it's for my breast milk. So I'm
I'm a cow.
I'm a cow. But I finally like looked it up, and I was like, I need a bag. And so I got one on Amazon, and it's cute. It's not as cute or as good as yours, but at the bottom it had a cooler. So that like helped me so much. But I used the Haka silicone bags. They're silicone, right?
Yes.
And I'm obsessed, because I used to use the little plastic ones, but honestly, like it felt like the milk, like when it stays in there, you know how like the fat part like rises or whatever, it would stick in there. And then there's just, it's plastic. It's just, garbage. So I absolutely love that these are reusable. And my milk, like with that, like you can just like rub it or whatever, and the fat will come right off. And like pour into whatever container you want. It's just awesome.
They're amazing.
When you store it, like for going on a trip, I love that you can just like roll it up, and it's teeny tiny. Obsessed with them.
I have some products in mind that I would like to add to the Boob Box line, as far as like pumping goes, because there are so many things that I don't carry that are so useful to a pumping mom. It's just a matter of getting to that point.
I know, but you're doing incredible. All these things are so necessary. I tell everyone, I want to buy for everyone, but I'm like, I'm not rich, so I can't buy everything.
Exactly.
I used every single thing. What was the other thing? The Haka. So I don't think I got the box with the like manual pump that you have in there. I don't have one. I don't think I got it from you. Have you seen the little ladybug one that you can just like put there? Okay, so that's what I used. And like when I'd breastfeed him, like especially in the beginning, like you're so like engorged sometimes, so it would just pour out, and I loved that. So the Haka pump that you have, you can literally do that with it. And if you need to pump more out, you got to pump too. With the little ladybug, you can't do that.
Right.
Baby, let's not do that right now, please. Okay, well, what are you painting? Let me get her a piece of paper.
Paint?
Yeah. Maybe I should have got my mother-in-law.
My daughter is one to not allow me to work at all. Like if I'm on my computer, her feet are on my keyboard. Like you know.
Yeah. And then when they're training, you're like, okay, well, I guess I can work. Nope, they want to be right here. I get literally nothing done. Like absolutely nothing. I'm like, what do I do? But she starts school Friday. So we've been preparing this week.
For the first time?
Yes. I'm so excited. She's never been to daycare because I'm home and I'm like, it's so expensive. And so this will be her first time, and I'm doing 5 days a week for her because financial aid only kicks in for 5 days. And I'm like, I need financial aid. But it's gonna be 5 days a week, and I'm so excited. I'm gonna be able to get so much work done, but I'm also like so sad.
Yeah.
Oh my
God. Like my daughter has never stayed with anybody other than family, and I'm home with her 99% of the time. So same.
I need to find a good person I can trust because I'm still gonna have this guy. Sorry, but we were talking about the hakas.
Yes.
How I'm obsessed with it.
It is great because it's so useful to have, like, regardless of if you're using it while you're breastfeeding or not, because it can help save so much milk for like if you needed to build up a freezer stash. Like it can avoid you even having to pull out an electric pump at all. Like if you're going back to work or whatever and need milk saved for any reason, then it's a super great tool to have on hand.
And you can just, I remember the first time I went to dinner with friends, I had so much milk because he literally lived on my boob. Lived on it. And I was going to dinner with my friend. He was probably like 4 weeks old or something. And so it was going to be just like, quick dinner because I was like, I'm not leaving this kid. But I went and I brought my bag, like my pumping backpack and my LV pumps. And I got there and I was like, I looked up, I was like, I'm not bringing this in. I was like, I'm not sitting at dinner and putting these in my boobs because I was meeting my best friend's new boyfriend. And
Lord,
I'll be fine. Well, no, I was so engorged. Like I went to the bathroom and I leaned over the toilet and was milking myself. Like literally like milking my boobs. And I would go back. I went back 5 times because I was in so much pain. And I was like, why? Like, did I not bring those in? But I was like, I need like a little thing. I could have put the haka in my purse and then went back and just got some out and would have been felt so much better. So it's amazing. And you can put it in your purse and bring it. Or
so
bring
true.
It
There was somebody, I don't even know who it was now, but I think Haka posted it a long time ago. I think it was like right when Boob Box started, and a lady brought it to a baseball game, and it was like, they wouldn't allow her to bring in her electric pumps for whatever reason, but they allowed her to bring the Haka. So she was like, thank God.
Yeah. Okay. That is weird. Oh, because it was like a stadium or something. That's so weird.
Like, and I don't even know what baseball terms like. Whatever, however high up baseball can go. It was like, one of those games.
Major League. Oh my God. That's
something like that. And they wouldn't let her, but they allowed her to bring the hakas in. So she's like, at least I have an option.
Yeah. That is weird though. That is messed up.
Right?
Not cool.
At least she had something. So there you go. If you can't bring your electric pump anywhere, it's really nice to have.
And on an airplane. So I went to Colorado for a wedding, and I obviously am not pumping anymore, but there was babies on the plane. I was like, obviously you can breastfeed or whatever, but what if you don't have your baby and you don't feel like doing that in front of a stranger? Like the haka is perfect. You can go to the bathroom and just be like, like is all done. And I will say airports are getting like a lot better. I guess I was at 4 of them, but 3 of them I noticed there was a separate room just for breastfeeding moms. That's awesome. I didn't know that. I was like, oh, that is so awesome.
I think I flew twice while I was breastfeeding without my daughter, and both times I had wonderful experiences because of that. Like because I had the ability to go somewhere and pump alone in privacy. It's game changer.
That's incredible. But there was another product we were talking about. The nipple cream.
Yes.
So tell me about that. Can you put that on? Because there's some nipple creams that you can put on, but then you have to like wash off before. And that was such a
No.
pain in the butt for me.
Yeah. No, this one is safe to be ingested.
Okay.
So
How awesome is that?
yeah, you can, and I'm sure like I'm sure there are babies out there who have an aversion to the way that feels or tastes or whatever,
Right.
but it is safe to be ingested. So like if you finish a nursing session and are dying and need some relief, put some nipple cream on. I always suggest people put it on after a shower. Like if, you know, you're putting your face moisturizer on and your lotion, don't forget your nipple cream.
Don't forget your nips.
Yeah. Especially in like the first few weeks when your body is adjusting to breastfeeding.
Yeah. Need some moisture in there.
Yeah. Yeah. But I always tell people like, it's really good to have to put on right after, you know, if you're having a lot of pain, especially if you're an exclusive pumper, put your nipple cream on before you pump or breastfeed, and it will save you so much pain. But always after. I was a nipple cream fanatic when I was newly postpartum, and I think it really saved me from having any further issues than I did. So
heck yes.
But yeah, I'm all about it.
I went into her first like check. Don't paint on him, okay? Just paint on your paper. By the way, did you hear her call me Camilla?
No.
Yeah, my 2-year-old just called me by my first name. Oh. Yeah.
Children.
That's mom life. But so when I brought her to her first appointment after she was, hold on, oh boy. Put that in your mouth. Never not getting my mother-in-law anymore. I
feel that.
He had this in his mouth.
Oh my God.
The top to the paint thing. Okay. Anyway, I brought her to her first appointment. You know, it's you go back like a week or 2 weeks later or something.
Yeah.
And it was actually the day I got mastitis.
Oh yeah, you told me about this.
Yes, but she was like, I was telling her how damaged. Here, do you want some water? Do you want a brush? Cool, man. Anything to distract you?
Yeah.
I was so damaged. I was like cracked and bleeding. Like, oh, it was so bad. I just remember the pain, but she was like, do you have any cream? And I was like, no, like no one told me anything. Like I didn't know, like you put cream on your nipples. I had no idea. And so she prescribed me some like probably medical grade. Like I had a prescription for it.
Yeah.
It was supposed to like help numb it too a little bit. Well, I was severely allergic to it.
Oh my.
Like so bad. And I didn't realize it. I thought it was just maybe healing, but it hurt so bad. And like they swelled.
Made it worse.
It made it worse. And they swelled up so bad. Like my milk was like not coming out that great. Yeah. I was like, okay, obviously it was just, I guess I'm sensitive or whatever. So it wasn't her fault. She was trying to help me, but I then got oh my goodness. He had paint in his mouth. Now it's all over me. Buddy, oh boy, what you want? But then I got the Earth Mama nipple. And I loved it because I didn't have to worrying about washing it off was such a pain in the butt because they're like screaming, crying, they're ready to feed, but I had to wash it off. And of course I was like scrubbing it because I'm like, I don't want to get anything. But the Earth Mama,
and making it worse again.
Exactly. And then also, but she did give me good advice. She was like, if rubbing it on your nipples isn't enough, rub it like inside your pump, like where your goes, and that helps a lot too.
Yeah. There are now products where there's like cooling sprays and lubricant sprays and lubricant oils and all kinds of things.
Yeah.
I know that is horrible, isn't it?
Oh, horrible. Oh man, motherhood is so hard, but if you want to breastfeed or even just try it out, having the Boob Box is so important because it gives you everything that you don't need or you don't know you need.
Yeah, exactly. Especially as a first-time mom. There are so many things that I had no idea I needed. Hence why I tried all of these things and created the business that I have. So, but yeah, it's you just never know. And there are so many things that people tell you about, but there are also so many things that people don't tell you about, or like products that people don't tell you about. So it's really nice to just have a like one-stop shop where I can provide everything you need that you didn't know.
And you are a mom who breastfed. So like you literally know, like you're just not like a random company and you don't know who the owner is or like anything. Like you are a small business, you're a woman, you're a mom, like it's perfect. I'm so glad that we connected this way. And it's so funny because we have so much in common.
I know. Well, and to that point too, I actually just posted yesterday an introduction about myself and about Boob Box on my Instagram, but I also am revealing my certification as a breastfeeding counselor. I know. So I'm hoping to have breastfeeding counseling sessions live and available to the public come September. I would really like to
that's incredible.
So in about a month, I would really like to have it live in about a month. But yeah, that took me a very long time. It's something I'm really proud of. But I am going to just continue my lactation education so that I can just be as knowledgeable as possible and provide moms with really important information so that they can make informed decisions and they are educated on what to expect on their own breastfeeding journeys. But
I absolutely love that. Like everyone who's breastfeeding like needs you, because I just didn't know anything. Like my mom breastfed us, and like you forget, like, and we're all older now.
And there's such an evolution of what is it?
Oh my God.
Is there pain on her face?
Oh yes. All over her hands, all over her mouth. Okay, I got an idea. If you find me a pink dinosaur, I will give you a cookie. Okay, go find it. We don't have a pink dinosaur. Anyway,
I love the bribery.
It's great advice, right? Oh my God. So my mom breastfed us, but like you forget, like I already have forgotten like all the stages, like like I would have to reread a book if I had another baby because I just forget. And so I just didn't have that much advice. And I literally thought like you have milk and you put them on your boob and it's like a bottle, but
and it's done.
It's done. There's like a million holes. There's not one hole. Like you just learn so much. So I recommend everyone having like a class before even the baby's born, because just
100%
be knowledgeable about it, and like it'll help you not just feel like a failure if something's going wrong. Yes. No, a pink dinosaur. Pink. Okay, go find yellow.
No, this one.
Okay. Now go find purple. Anyway, so Lord, I'm literally so sorry.
Trust me, I
have to edit the hell out of this.
No need to apologize. There's no need to apologize.
So I literally thought that I was like, they're gonna play the whole time, like like I brought.
No, that's always my thinking. I'm always like, oh, I can sit down for 30 minutes. No, I can sit down for 2.
Yeah, sometimes not even.
Yeah.
And I got to a point where I was like, I think embarrassed that it wasn't going as well as I wanted it to. And so I was like, I'm not even going to get help because this is so frustrating. And so
that's why, support is just so important, regardless of who it's from, whether you have a partner or a family member or anybody. But I always recommend you always need to have a breastfeeding specialist, regardless of, whether it's an IBCLC or someone with a breastfeeding counselor.
What does that mean, by the way?
It is an international board certified lactation consultant. So a lot of the times you have to be a registered nurse and you have to have a lot of hours of lactation support under your belt to become an international board certified lactation consultant. Obviously I did not have that time. So I found a schooling system that was a go at your own pace. Class where I could get my certification on my own time. So that's what I did. And I do have plans to continue furthering education. I would love to become an international board certified lactation consultant, but the day is not today. So so I am doing the education that I can at this time, but I'm really hoping someday to really evolve and become even more certified. So
I love that. And I love that you want to keep educating yourself, because some people just kind of stop and then you keep on going. But things are constantly changing. You're constantly learning new things. Now I think they're like before they were recommending breastfeed for a year or maybe 6 months, and now they're no. don't touch that, please. Now they're recommending 2 years.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's because of the formula shortage, or if it's just like
that's a good point.
better.
I didn't think about it that way, but that's
Yeah.
a good point. Yeah, I think it's the AAP, so the American Academy of Pediatrics is recommending that. But yeah, that's an amazing update. I think prolonged breastfeeding sometimes gets a bad rep, but it's really good. It's a great thing for both mom and baby. So, but yeah, it takes a little bit of support and a little bit of education, and both of those things go a long way.
Yeah.
So that you can be successful for a long period of time.
And whoa. You okay? You're tough, girl. Did you trip on that? You tough girl. You're fine. Good job. You okay? You good? Take a deep breath. You're good. Good job. Tough girl. Now she's laughing. Okay. Did you see that?
That was actually really funny from my point of view. She just launched over your head.
Oh my Lord. That's so funny. But yes, it's like, and it also doesn't only help you, it helps the baby too. So my best friend that I just got to see yesterday in Nashville, she is breastfeeding and it's going really well, but her baby has a lot of ties. Like he had the tongue tie, like everything, honestly. Yeah. And of course they have to play right here. Maybe next time you come on, if you want, you do not have to, but you can talk about because me and you both got pregnant the same, got married the same. Yeah. Talk about more personal stuff too.
Oh, I love that. I will definitely do that.
Yay. And I'll have a babysitter and I'll record it. Yeah. You'll have to do it twice.
I love it.
I'm so sorry. Lordy. Yeah, next time you got to bring your baby so I can see her.
I will. She's just downstairs. But my mom has a pool, so I'm hoping that we can I'll go from here to jump in.
Heck yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous. Heck
right? It's the best.
Hi?
Ideal.
Can you say hi to Miss Hunter? Like her? Like her?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Good job. He's very expressive. He is
very.
He's a lot. Are you talking to her? What are you saying?
Oh.
You're so handsome. Okay. Well, anyway, wish me luck.
Go be a mom.
I'm gonna go be a mom, even though I'm so sorry they were like so loud this whole time. Can you say bye-bye? Say bye. Dramatic. He's like, he falls on the floor and he goes.
This one's for the mothers.
All right, good job, baby. All right, thank you so much.
So much.
Whenever I get them down, I'll talk to you soon. Bye, girlie.
Bye.
And you gotta hug the ones who bring us joy and love. It's the middle with the Momzilla, it's your day. I said, now this one's for the mothers. You gotta love the mothers. And you gotta hug the ones who bring us joy and love. It's the middle with the Momzilla, it's your day.